Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Allison Chiwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is dedicated to creating healthier and happier workforces. And today I want to talk about the possibilities of limitless ambitions. We're going to explore, as always, the intersectionality between entrepreneurship, career growth, personal growth, and those things that build us or give us resilience. Today, particularly today, I want to talk about what it means to push past the barriers, celebrating the victories, and really building on resilience that's needed to turn our aspirations into reality. Have you ever wondered how to navigate through those highs and lows of pursuing your dreams? Well, today, this moment in the next 10 minutes, I want to show you you're in the right place. Please do stay with me. Imagine this. Just for a moment, you're standing at crossroads, the T-junction, the path ahead, shrouded by all sorts of uncertainty, and the weight of your own ambitions pressing down, and that little seed of doubt whispering that turning back might actually be much, much easier. But let me tell you, the storm isn't there to defeat you. It's there to redefine you and refine your purpose. Your journey, with all of its twists and turns, like I always say, one day, believe me, one day it will be the story that will inspire others. On my journey, I always hope that the things that I do, the things that I'm working to build, will one day inspire, even if it's just one person in the world. I'll be more than pleased. No, it will happen. I want to take you on my own personal journey. In my life, in my journey rather, it was a time when failure shouted so much louder than hope. I was knee-deep in what felt like an endless cycle of setback on my entrepreneurial journey, questioning every move and every decision that I'd made. In fact, it was more so doubting those decisions that I'd made along that journey, along that path. And I remember sitting in my living room in the quiet hours of the night, unsettled, of course, the weight of exhaustion really bearing down on me. And I was wondering, does this mean that all of my efforts were actually in vain? But in that silence, a voice deep within me reminded me of the real truth that I'd almost forgotten myself. And it said, Allison, this is temporary. Allison, this is temporary. You're not defined by this moment, but how you will rise from it. Indeed, I clung to those words. I still do. And I remember going back and reading on so many, articles on rising after our falls. And there was one that stood out. It was Sir Winston Churchill's quote. He said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal either. And it is the courage to continue that actually does count." In that moment, this wasn't just a quote. It became a mantra that has lit a fire within me. And maybe sometimes I often have to repeat it to myself that Allison's success is not final and failure is not fatal. And it allows me to take risks when I most doubt myself. I realized that in that moment, however painful, was a chapter. It was just only a chapter and not the whole story. Therefore, what am I saying? I'm saying that every setback that you face is more than just an obstacle. It's actually a masterclass of its own. What you learn in those moments is invaluable. And in fact, life doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to then mold you into this amazing person who can take on the next project with much more resilience and much more vigor. But in it all, the greatest lessons I want to tell you are often buried in the failure's harshest critics. And therefore, what am I saying? Is that those failures, those setbacks, treat them as tuition you pay for growth. That's your fees that you pay for your growth. And the resilience is not just about ignoring pain, but it's also about, facing it head on. Sometimes we have to lean into it actually. And often we learn from it and coming out on the other side much better and much more transformed for the better good. I really want to I always like to use examples that we probably may be all familiar with. So Thomas Edison, a man whose name is synonymous with invention and persistence, he once said, when asked about his countless, failed attempts to his inventions, before finally actually lighting the first bulb, he famously said that, I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So this story isn't just history, it's actually a blueprint on our innovative entrepreneurial journeys, our career pathways. Edison just didn't go out and start inventing a product that became the product without any failures. He proved that when we persevere, our perseverance outshines even the moments that we felt momentarily failures. And perseverance outshines all the time. And then, of course, there's the amazing Maya Angelou who said, you will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. Her own life, of course, was filled with various challenges that would have stopped her on her tracks. But she turned those moments, those trials, into fuel for her art and activism in what she became renowned for. In fact, it's a resilience that became the very light, the very enabler of hope for countless people, including myself, and I'm sure many others within our communities. So now, I just want you to take a moment and think about a recent setback in your life. Close your eyes if you can, or if you must, and just picture that moment. I want you to now think that instead of viewing it as a roadblock, as a barrier, as a painful moment, I want you to reframe it as a stepping stone. What have you learned? What can you learn from that setback? What can you do differently? What strength did you uncover? Write it down if you need to, and let that moment of realization be what steadies you in your next storm. I had to do the same. What have I learned? What will I do differently next time? What strength have I found in doing this? These are the moments we learn more about ourselves than any other moment in our lifetime. We often fall into traps of believing that we need to be the very best right away. Quick money, quick projects, quick low-hanging fruits kind of idea or mindsets. But the truth is, the real challenge is to be better than we were only yesterday, not last year, just yesterday. It's about a growth mindset. It's the foundation of every successful venture. is what can I do to be better than yesterday? When I started then to rebuild my path after that difficult season that some of you may know, I learned to embrace the progress over perfection. I learned to take joy in celebrating my small victories, and all of my failures, my stumbles became my lessons. This week, I really want to encourage you to take one step, just one, that will move you towards your goal. Just one. It doesn't have to be grand. Maybe it's revisiting that passion project that you shelved or it's currently in your drawer. Reach out for advice from a mentor. Just do it. If doubt creeps in, remind yourself of this. I can, I will, I must. Because the greatest breakthroughs come not from the absence of fear, but from the courage to face it straight on, head on, and fearlessly. So, as you continue on this journey, let each challenge guide you to your next step. Let each setback craft or sculpture into shaping you into someone more resilient, much more determined, but most importantly, more you, more yourself. Of course, life will test you. But it is through this test, this trialing time, these trials, that you discover who you truly are and what your strengths, your true strengths are, and what your passions truly are. And like I said earlier, that your story, your journey, every victory, every stumble is what will one day inspire others to push forward in their very own paths. Can you do it? I'm sure. So please just keep moving forward, keep questioning, and keep striving, and remembering that, of course, all of the moments that come, highs and lows, all the steps are what will build the narrative of you, who you are becoming, who you will be. And the next chapter of your story truly awaits you. And it waits for you with lots of hope and resilience already embedded within it. So, my question to you before I go is, what's really holding you back? Only you know the answer, of course. So, until next time, remember the power to transform your journey always, always lies within you. And always remember there is strength in the power of your own journey. So do seize it today. Do it. And remember, I can, I will, I must. From me to you and your household, from human-focused to your organization. It's goodbye for now. Until next time.